to this day, you know, and then you think, okay, well, if we give them a casino, it'll help bring up their economy. It makes it worse.
We get a percentage.
Right,
yeah.
But it makes it worse. You see, and that alcohol has really got them fucked up. You know, so yeah, there is that aspect of self-fulfilling prophecy, but there's other things that are happening that are out of other people's control, like earthquakes.
It's so bad now we can't really do anything, and then when they do something, it's always for something bad. Like when was the last time you heard anything about Fukushima? That they really haven't really fixed anything.
Exactly.
They just had a thing about thousands of tons being leaked.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Just like the Ebola outbreaks and stuff, that all went silent. They bring something up and then it goes silent. Like earthquakes. Every year there's more and more than the previous year. That's a prophecy that, you know, who's gonna reverse that? How could you stop or reverse it? You know, and then you know that's the thing. They'll say, oh well, you're drilling out too much oil, which is a cause and effect. But a prophecy is to say something before it even happens. So these things were written thousands of years ago, and now they're all coming to pinpoint this focal point. Like you said, they're snowballing. But it's going to hit the focal point of a World War III. You know, you remember, I don't know if you probably have because you seem, you know, pretty informed, but I think it was the Pope, somewhere between the UN and the Pope, or NATO and the Pope, the Vatican, they set up someone to be basically an ambassador if space invaders ever came, so they could baptize them as Catholics. Why would they do that? Because the scriptures talk about the chariots of a heavenly Father, and it describes them as wheels within wheels, which we know modern day understand it as a so-called UFO. You see, so all these things they're coming to a head. It's got to go somewhere. It's not just going to come and then just fizzle out. You know, it's impossible because you got all this stuff with the RFID chip technology.
Yeah.
And then today, I think it was I forget what organization it was, but they got hacked. 5 million of people's fingerprints. 5 million people's fingerprints got hacked. Americans. So that's going to help push people to want to take a microchip. Say, oh, well, you give me a chip.
That's what the global currency collapse is.
All
They're
these
going to try to collapse the fiat currency and then say, we need to have something that's cashless, a cashless society, and then they'll put it on the card in the beginning. It might turn into a chip, and then if you don't comply with all their BS, they'll just turn your chip off and you'll starve to death. And that's what we're facing towards neo-feudalism, this type of environment where the elites will have their own different society. It'll be broken off of everything else, and they'll have their own laws, and they'll be above everything. And all the others will be starving to death in these big cities where they only be able to survive there because they're doing the chemtrails and all this other shit to destroy the environment, make it so that the only plants we can grow are like Monsanto seeds, frankincense, suicide cheese.
See, all that goes together, like the Project Wildlands, where they're shutting off the rural areas, and they're trying to focus people into the big cities, and get you herded in.
Get you on stamps, get you hooked on the system, so when the collapse comes, they can force you to stick with the system.
Right, and that goes back into the Georgia Guidestones, bringing the population down to 500 million. You see what I'm saying? So all these things.
That's why it says RS Christian or something like that. It was another secret society. I think Templars got a lot of power and wealth too, so I'm surprised if they're still affiliated with that.
Well, right, and see, and that's what they say is the devil's biggest power, making the world believe that he doesn't exist. And so when you get all these shadow puppets, then you start, you know, you're trying to follow the strings, you know, you see them getting crossed up or whatever, but really it's just one hand. You know, that's the greatest form of magic, is to do something right in front of you.
It's more than one hand, but it's still kind of simple.
Well, it goes back to the
central banking, the corrupt banking system, the corrupt military-industrial complex. What are the big powers? The militaries, politicians, the religions, CIA, NSA, Department of Homeland Security, all that clandestine, you know, national security BS, the war on terror.
Right, and it's all funded by money. So you can just follow the paper trail, and it all goes back, you know, to the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. You know, these are the guys. Who was it? The Rockefeller dude. He just had like his 5th heart transplant.
It's like
and he's saying modern science now. They're saying this guy could live to be 200 years old because now they're starting to develop technology and the science to where they can replace your head on someone else's body.
We're getting close to integrating the mind into like a computer system.
Yeah, artificial intelligence.
Yeah, because it's just an algorithm.
That to real sentient, self-aware type AI.
Yep.
We're almost there, but we're still not at that point. We're really worried about that because what are they going to do when we get to the point where it can think and decide on itself?
It's not going to happen like that. That's why we are here to tell our people and prophesy against this kingdom.
We hope it doesn't happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
There's a lot.
Well, that goes back
it's
to
important enough to
Yeah.
have a bunch of professional academics and people who've been studying AI and cyber or internet and computers to be scared enough to starting global organizations that are strictly for warning people and telling people the whole story about when it comes to AI and eventually hostile artificial intelligence, which is what they're working towards to have, because that's going to be their checkmate. Because everyone's going to understand it's a whole new world order, and what could they have to be able to kill millions, billions of people? Well, computers. That's what they're going to use as their
It's already killed people spiritually, and that really the whole underlying thing is faith. Because with all these things happening, it takes faith away from the people, because they're like, oh, I don't see no other way. They can't see no other way, and that's why we're out here. Is to wake up the elect, the 144,000, the 1/3 of the nation of Israel that's been scattered out to all other countries. Because you got some of our people that look like a so-called white man, they look like a Chinese man, a Vietnamese man, an Aborigine. But because of time and through history, for us not obeying, as a curse, we were put into slavery in every other nation. And now this is our final slavery. And the greatest thing they took away from us was our faith and our belief. But now it's coming back.
You're talking about taking the faith away from the people and whatnot, right? You're saying?
That's what this whole society is set up to do.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm agnostic and try not to stick so close to religion. I was baptized Catholic or whatever Catholic, but
so was I. Yep.
I see a religion as a tool by the elites because I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. And I see as the religion, organized religion, as a big tool, one that they've been using for a long time that's successful. And I agree, or I think that we should put our faith in a human being, and not just one person, but all of us, and the positive things about life, love and all that other stuff, and not put it into someone who we think is more powerful than us. We have the right to change, so we are the ones who created all this horrible mess. You could say it was the devil or bad stuff, but when it comes down to it in the day, it's things like greed, wrath, all of the 7 deadly sins or whatever.
That goes back to the story of Cain and Abel.
So
you see, and the reason Cain killed Abel was because Cain didn't have faith, because he brought a sacrifice of meat when he should have brought a sacrifice of fruit. So his sacrifice, his favor wasn't looked upon. So out of jealousy and greed, he killed his brother Abel. You see, and it all started, that's from the beginning of someone with faith versus someone without faith. See, so
that's why you have people look down on you if you're successful. They're jealous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're jealous because
they don't have no faith in themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, and what do they want? They want to steal from you. They want to take it for themselves. Right.
They're human,
So, and that's why we're out here. Because, yeah. And like you said, religion is a man-made thing. That's a man-made thing. The scripture, the Bible doesn't talk about religion. It's a custom, heritage, history of our people that's rich. And it's so powerful that you got so-called white people calling themselves Jewish. People actually think the real Jews are white. Well, when you read the scripture, when you read the description on who the world calls Jesus Christ, he's a so-called Negro.
Right. It's based on where
his location.
Right.
You'd have to be a man of color. No,
Jerusalem.
Jerusalem.
To do with like what we were talking about, though, like in general with all this other stuff.
Because that goes into faith.
Skin color?
Skin color goes into faith.
It goes into faith?
Right, because you'll ask people what color was Jesus, and they say, oh, color doesn't matter.
What does it matter?
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, they'll say, and then you go back to the scriptures, and the scripture says, for the truth's sake. Yeah. So if you had a great grandfather and he looked a certain way, and you guys had family photos and portraits of him, but then the world comes in and they whitewash his image, and then now I'm going to throw a name out there. Your great grandfather was Chief Geronimo, but they painted him up as a so-called white man. Isn't that a dishonor?
They did. They did that in the past.
In the Renaissance era.
That's in the scriptures. It tells you that the heathen has sought to paint.
Geronimo, the native, right?
Yeah, I'm using him as an example. It's not something that really happened, but you see what I'm saying? I did it for shock value.
Yeah.
But even look at Michael Jackson. If kids growing up today, if all they saw was new Mike, they would think he was white. You show them young little Mike and they're like, what happened? And then you got to explain to them about melanin and this and that, and then their whole mind is just blown. See, so everything matters for the truth's sake. Even if you're a so-called conspiracy nut, which people call us that too, look, everything matters for the truth's sake. You could be a, what are the other thing they call truth seekers? Every piece of truth matters.
It's for the truth, no matter how big it is.
Or small.
Yeah, I'm totally for that. Complete
It matters.
transparency. I still am stuck on what skin color had to do with faith or anything.
Oh, because you missed it then. Because the so-called white people over there that call themselves Jewish,